Hello everybody, it's Aaron. Welcome to another episode of SolitaryCraft. I have a problem with this one boiler. If you notice, I cannot click on the boiler itself. I can on this one. This one I can click on the firebox, and the heat is actually going down. For some reason, when I restart my game, I have to break one of those blocks and replace it, and then the heat starts going back up again. And I don't know if it's because it's straddling a chunk, like right in the middle, or what. But I may try to move that over one block and see if it makes a difference. I don't know if it will or not. I guess we'll see. So I was streaming last night. I discovered this really cool mod called Gendustry. And you know I like to mess around with bees. The problem is, it's so tedious in the beginning to get what you want. Well, Gendustry actually solves that problem. So I've taken the liberty of making a few of the machines. Let's grab some glowstone before we go up there. We'll bring a stack of it. So I haven't really found any information on this mod. I've just been kind of messing around with it myself. It seems fairly straightforward. We've got 4 machines that we're going to need. We've got the mutagen producer, which will turn regular blocks into mutagen. So this kind of replaces those advanced bee machines, except you don't need a bunch of bees to melt down into DNA to do stuff with. This is by far the best, and we can get this from a thermal centrifuge, which I suppose I'll make now just so I can get it. You see the glowstone, we only get about 800 millibuckets. The only thing that will give us a bucket or more is some sort of uranium. So I'm going to throw some glowstone in here. Actually, the redstone block looked like it might have been... Nope, still less than a bucket. These things take a ton of power. They're not cheap resource-wise either. If we look at the recipes, it's a bunch of bronze gears, pulsating chipset, a few diamonds. So we've got these machines. We've got the mutagen producer, the mutatron, which is how you actually breed the bees, and then we've got the genetic sampler, which I imagine will take a trait off of a bee. I haven't actually tried that one yet, nor have I tried the genetic imprinter, which I imagine you put traits on a bee. So I have done this one. You know, it takes a while to get your common bee. Well, if you put these are all hive bees here. If we put a meadows princess and a forest drone in there with some of this genetics labware, it doesn't take very long. It's going to give us a common queen, which we then obviously have to put in an apiary to get the babies out. And I don't think I actually have an apiary or a bee house, unfortunately. Oh, I do. I have a couple of them. I don't know if they'll work in this biome, though. I haven't tried it. I just wanted to show you guys this mod, because if you like bees like I do, it's a big time saver. Let's see if we have... Yeah, we do have a couple of frames. Cool. So we'll throw that in there, and I think the sun is coming up. Once it does, assuming the biome is the right temperature and humidity, it looks like it is. It shouldn't be a problem. I might need to put a flower next to the thing. So let's get one of those. Just put it right there. Still nighttime, apparently. So once we get once we split that common queen into princess and drone, we can then take either or mark it with a hive bee in the mutatron, and we can get a cultivated bee just like that. It takes seconds. So this one I haven't done yet. Let's put some of these in here, and we'll throw in a rocky drone. We'll see what happens. Then we'll throw in a steadfast drone. The one thing to note, when you look at the recipes on this, you see there's a death chance and a degrade chance. I think that gives your princess a 10% chance of dying, because I made a couple of these last night, and a couple of my apiaries this morning did not have any princesses or queens. They only had drones. So we got rocks for flowers from that one. Let's see what we get from this guy. While that's working, if we hit U on this, we can smelt it. We're going to need to make one of these things. And what we do with that is we put our gene samples in here. And I'm not really sure if we can do more than 2. Cave dwelling is a good one, so we'll keep those 2. See, and look at this. We already got... getting blown by the wind here. So let's go make one of those gene samples. I didn't realize I was going to need one of those. So if we put this thing in the crafting thing, with that and that, let's get a couple more of these and see if we can put more than 2 on there. I think that'll be worthwhile. If I can get up to my room here. So I haven't tried to throw these in as a stack. They do go, but it only takes 1 at a time, so that's good. If you've got a stack of bees that have cave dwelling and you want to make sure you get that trait, you can throw a stack in there. And I'm not sure what's going to happen when this goes through. We'll see in just a minute. It doesn't actually finish until you take the previous one out. So fertility 1 is ridiculous. If we put one of these in here with one of these, we're going to get a cultivated queen just like that. It's almost like magic. Bam, cultivated queen. So this will make it a lot easier to get from your hive bees to your noble branch. The one thing that is kind of iffy is whichever bees you breed to get your noble and diligent, it's the same actual bees. I think it might be cultivated and common. There's still a percentage chance whether you get noble or diligent, I believe. So keep that in mind, but it's still much better than trying to do it on your own. So it'll help you get to imperial and industrious a lot more quickly, and then you can start making your alvearies and do whatever you need to do with those. So I can put a ton of these on here. I want to take out fertility 1. And let's put it on... let's put it on one of these drones. And I don't have a beealyzer, so, you know, it doesn't really... I thought I saved some of these. We can't really see what traits the bees have right now, but that's not really an issue. I know that they're all pure because if you take 2 pure bees in here, I've never gotten an impure bee out of it. So now we have a forest drone. We cannot see any of the information, but it should be a cave dwelling drone. You see it does not stack with the other 7 now, so that's a pretty good sign. These things, I believe you can cook them in the furnace just like the old things, and you will get a blank one back, which is nice. I even forget what the other things are called. And it looks like this template, you get to reuse it. So that's nice. So if you want to put cave dwelling on all your bees, as long as you have some genetics labware, which is a pretty easy recipe. It does take a diamond. You get 16 of them though. You could put a bunch of different bees in here, make them all cave dwelling, and then you don't have to worry about them being underground. So there are all these things. There's actually an electric grafter, which could come in handy if you want to do trees. And we've got all these upgrades. I'm assuming they're for the apiary, but I haven't found any information on how to actually craft this thing, and there's no recipe. Let's go to cheat mode and give ourselves a stack of these. And I don't know, I don't know if it's just a 1 block structure or if it's similar to the forestry one. It looks like it's just 1. It does take power, obviously. I'm assuming these are for the upgrades. And now it's showing me everything. For the upgrades here, the lifespan upgrade, production upgrade, which as you can see, it ups the production and the energy consumption. You may just right click them on the block. Like I said, I'm not really sure because I haven't found a way to craft this yet. So I will look for that. I definitely want to use this in the future. I don't mind powering apiaries if they work better or faster or produce more. So we're going to take one of these cultivated bees and the common. We're going to throw them in here. And we should get either diligent or noble. I forget which. I haven't looked at the chart in a while. I haven't actually bred them in a while either. So we got the diligent. If we do that again, there's a pretty good chance that we'll get the noble. But I mean, it's still a percentage. I'm not really sure what the percentage is. If we scroll through here, you see the first one is common. It kind of goes in order that you would breed them normally from hive bees up. But it doesn't give you a percentage for noble versus the diligent, which is here. But either way, it's not that hard to turn a rocky princess into some other sort of princess, so that is not going to be an issue for us. And as you can see, I drained my reactor already because these things take so much power. So I'm going to get to work on these bees. I do want to go ahead and get to the industrious and imperial so we can make the regular forestry alvearies, and hopefully I can find a way to craft this thing between this episode and the next or a future episode, because it has a pretty, it's got a pretty cool set of upgrades here. You see there's a hell upgrade. That's pretty cool. Open sky, so you don't even have to put cave dwelling on them, I'm assuming. Lighting, so they work all day, not just during the day. I guess all day and all night. Rain protection. 1 for temperature. 2 for temperature. Humidity, etc. So you could actually use one of these to make sure that all your trees get pollinated a little faster. And you can kill your bees quicker if you want, if you're just trying to breed them. So these are all really cool. I just have to figure out how to craft this thing because there's no recipe. So we're going to get back to industrial craft in the next episode. I just wanted to touch on that and share what I had discovered last night during my stream because it's going to be a huge time saver. I'm going to get going with the bees and hopefully we'll get some bees that will make us something useful. If not, you know, there's that bee challenge where someone said, see if you can get every single kind of bee. I feel like that might be cheating, but still, you know, you could complete the challenge. What I'm going to do when I'm done with this, I'm going to make another metal former. I'm going to put an interface on top of it, and I'm going to put an interface on top of this one with import buses on the back. And I'm going to set up the recipes to make all the plates we need and all the cables we need and start the auto crafting for some of the industrial craft stuff so that when we need to make components, I can just click the button and it'll send the resources. So we won't have to come over here all that often. And I was working on this stuff to melt in that mutagen producer, but then I discovered I had to put it in a thermal centrifuge also. So I'm going to be chilling with my bees. If you guys have any questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them down below. If you know how to craft this thing, please leave me a comment. Since there's no recipe, I'll do some internet sleuthing, see what I can find, and if I do find anything, I'll let you know in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.